Yeah. Well, we're going on 5 hours now of no water coming out of my kitchen tap. And there's something seriously wrong with the tap in my bathroom as well, which is also affected by the water outage that appears to be only in this unit right now. So as you can see, there's barely any water coming out of this tap. It's a trickle. It's like a thin little trickle of water. See that? It's like a little line. And there's barely any water coming out, even though this is the maximum volume on this faucet, right? This is off. This is on. There's a trickle. Barely anything coming out. You can't do anything with this water. It's also very sticky, tacky, and gritty. As I reported in a video I made a little earlier, extremely tacky, gluey, and gritty. And you can't drink it because it literally coats everything with this tacky, gritty, gluey residue, which is either some type of an additive to the water, which is entirely possible in this building, given that there's a psychopath named Jasmine Irizarry who claims to be a structural engineer, who has admitted in writing to contaminating the water to this tap, and who likes to tamper with the existing infrastructure of my unit, if not this entire building. She's admitted to putting boogers in the water. She put it on social media. So this water is extremely gluey, tacky, and gritty, and you can't drink it. And that's obviously the whole point. You can't use the water in this unit. And there's barely any water coming out. This is not adequate water volume and pressure by any standards. There's so little of it, it's literally making a little dripping noise. This is as high as you can turn this tap on. And there's a thin trickle of water. This has been going on since 11 o'clock this morning when the water suddenly cut out. There was no water coming out of this tap for approximately 30 minutes. Then it was just the hot water. And now it's just barely any water, regardless of whether it's the hot water or the cold water or the hot water or the cold water. And as I'm making this video, the violent psycho thug, directly below 76, is once again making slamming and banging noises directly beneath this thing. That piece of shit needs to go jump off a cliff. He's so behaviorally disturbed that he's constantly slamming and banging things directly below wherever I happen to be standing or lying or sitting in this unit. There's also a leak under here. So I keep having to put down these washcloths that I then have to, oh wow, this one's completely soaked. So this washcloth is completely soaked. Check this out. Wow, there's not only no water coming out, but much of the water seems to be coming out under here for some strange reason. Look at all this water that I'm squeezing out. There's a puddle under here. Can you hear this? Hear that slapping? That's the water. That's a puddle. This is an unsafe, unsanitary condition. All right, you know what? Time to call inspectional services. I'm just going to schedule another inspection. Greenville has completely refused and dropped the ball on fixing this serious leak. Look at all this water that is dripping under here. Wow. It's a lot of water. Jesus Christ. Yeah. This is a never-ending circus of dysfunction. Yeah, see all that water just... Okay. Look, and then this is the thin trickle of water that's coming out from under here. But this tap is leaking all over the place to the point where I have to put washcloths all over the place because the water that does come out is actually not coming out of the tap. It's coming out from the base of this faucet. And then it's also leaking under the sink where there's standing water. And I keep having to put down washcloths that then I have to squeeze out. Again, look at this water that comes out of here. Fuck. Yeah, did you see that stream of water? There you go. See that? Yeah. Unbelievable. It's of constant dysfunction, utility outages. This is a utility outage, folks. You're seeing Greenville refusing to provide adequate water volume and pressure to this tap. This is as high as it goes in terms of turning on the tap. And there's just a thin trickle. So you know what? It's sticky, tacky, and gluey. There's some type of an additive to it, or then the water is being molecularly altered by Greenville's psychopath Irizarry using her directed energy device to literally alter the molecular structure of water. And as a master's level research scientist with 18 years of continuous research experience under my belt and over 14 co-authored scientific studies under my name in some of the highest end scientific journals in the world, just Google it, retards. I know what I'm talking about when it comes to talking about altering the molecular structure of a liquid by microwaving it. That's what's happening. Either that or she's putting some type of gluey additive, but I don't think it is. I think she's actually molecularly altering the structure of the water so that it's no longer water. It's some type of a tacky, gritty, liquidy substance that is not water. That's why no matter how much you try to flush out the glue or the tackiness, it doesn't flush out because it's the actual water that is being altered in its molecular structure by somehow passing through something that is altering its molecular structure. That's a scientific fact. You don't need to you don't need to be a brain surgeon to figure that out. Just a master's level research scientist. Here we go again. Jesus Christ. Well, they refuse to fix things, so that's on them.
For rentals, press 1. For maintenance, press 2. If you're interested in something, press 3. For the office directory, press 4. Or press 0 for the front desk.
What time is it?
After the tone, please leave a detailed message.
Why would they answer the phone at 3:30 in the afternoon? Right? Hi there. It's right around 3:30 p.m. now on Wednesday, September 18th, 2024. I'm calling to report that there is still hardly any water coming out of my kitchen tap at this time, and I've been unable to use that tap for over 5 hours now. The water completely cut off to my unit at 11 this morning, as I reported and as I illustrated in a video that I made. There was absolutely no water coming out of my kitchen tap or of my bathroom tap or of the bathroom taps in the common bathrooms down the hall for a period of approximately 30 minutes between 11 a.m. and 11:40 a.m., which is when I called you guys and left you a voicemail about how there's no water to the fourth floor, apparently to the taps that I was checking. I can't speak to obviously what was going on in other people's units. The water started coming back sometime around 11:45, but then it was only the hot water. There was no cold water whatsoever. And now there's barely any water coming out of my kitchen tap. It is a very thin trickle, and you can't use that tap for any kind of rinsing or washing or anything at all because there's barely a trickle of water coming out of that tap. So you guys are basically refusing to provide adequate water supply to Unit 89, and this has been going on now for 5 hours. It is 3:30 in the afternoon. And again, there's barely any water coming out of my kitchen tap and of my bathroom tap at all. At the same time, one of the knobs on the faucet of the bathroom tap, which was in this unit before I moved in 2011, seems to have come off of the faucet for some strange reason. I was simply turning it on and off, and the knob literally fell apart in my hand. It now needs to be fixed because that tap is running continuously due to the fact that the knob just came off, and I can't figure out how to put it back on. There's also a significant leak underneath the kitchen sink of my unit, as I have been reporting to Greenville now for months. There is a significant leak underneath the kitchen sink of Unit 89 that is causing significant amounts of water to accumulate underneath the sink and to significantly damage the floor around the sink. The tiles are now lifting up and shifting around the floor of the sink, and there's a lot of glue that is coming out from underneath the tiles because of moisture and is accumulating on top of the tiles, causing them to be gritty and sticky and coated with glue. If you have any questions, you know my phone number. I'm calling from Unit 89 for what is now like the fourth or fifth time today regarding some significant problems with the water, as well as violent slamming and banging from the violent psycho thug directly below in 76, whose behavioral issues you are completely ignoring and who you continue to choose to house in the unit directly below mine, even though he has publicly claimed to be an anti-white warrior who has issues with women, obviously, since he comes up to my door for no reason and becomes intrusive, aggressive, and violent. And you guys are refusing to do anything about that as well. He has been making slamming and banging noises directly below my bed and beneath my kitchen sink throughout the morning and throughout the afternoon as I've been trying to do things in the privacy of my unit. He likes to slam the floor beneath my feet in the exact spot that I happen to be standing in to let me know that he has knowledge of what I do in the privacy of my unit. I am recording this voicemail for legal purposes. I will be following up with a written notification to you and your legal team and filing further action against you in court. Thank you. Yeah. So when you're not getting any water, when the landlord is literally affecting and throttling your utilities or blocking the access of utilities to your unit, meaning they're not providing you with heat or with adequate water. This is inadequate water right here. They're refusing to make repairs to a significant leak under the sink that you've been reporting in writing and verbally for months, not just weeks. I started reporting this leak in 2021 when it started affecting the items that I had stored under the sink, and it's been getting worse ever since. So it's a problem with the drain pipe or with the valves. Then your landlord is criminally negligent, and it's time to call inspectional services and just get another inspection. I mean, whatever with the reinspection, let's just get another inspection done in here. This is crazy.
Carefully, as our menu options have changed. For rental registration, short-term rental, or to place a housing complaint, press 1.
So we're calling inspectional services now because the Greenville Group has refused to make any adjustments to the... Yes, hi. I'm calling because I need to have an inspection done of my apartment. There's some significant health and safety issues that the landlord has been refusing to address recently.
Okay. All right. No worries. I can help you out with that. Can I place you on a brief hold?
No problem. Thank you.
Okay.
So now I'm hoping that they don't fix the water to my tap. I mean, let's let inspectional services come in here and see that there's barely any water being provided to my tap by the Greenville Group, that there's a leak all over the place, that there's damage to the floor. They're refusing to fix the leak. There's significant amounts of water accumulating underneath that cabinet, forcing me to remove everything that I had stored under there, forcing me to keep my bags that I had stored under there like on the table, and to not be able to use the under sink area for any kind of storage, as I have the right to. And then I keep having to put down my own personal claws and squeeze them out on a regular basis because there's constantly water accumulating under there, causing damage to the floor that is now affecting the tiles. And the tiles are shifting around and lifting up and cracking. That's not me. That's the Greenville Group being criminally negligent and refusing to make repairs, even though I've notified them in writing and verbally dozens of times over the last few months regarding a leak under this tap.
All right, let's start off with your first name.
Yes, so the first name.
This is the same stuff from me. Did we speak not too long ago?
Yeah, well, yeah, they did. I believe that inspectional services issued a code violation citation in this unit on July 12th and then another one on the 31st. But nothing has been fixed. And so the problems continue. There's a significant leak under the sink. The bathroom tap now just broke, and the landlord is refusing to address any of these issues. There's some significant plumbing problems in this unit.
Okay. And just remind me, this is the last name that reminded me. What's the address again, ma'am?
Yes, the address is 5 Union Avenue in Jamaica Plain.
Okay, Isabel, I'm going to place you on a brief hold. I just want to pull it up and see what the inspector was.
Sure. Thank you very much.
No worries.
Okay, so he sounds very nice, very helpful, very competent. Obviously a very nice guy. And I'm very grateful for his help. I appreciate him. Okay, so I just figured out what I need to do here. I need to, once again, stop playing defense and file a massive criminal negligence case against the Greenville Group for refusing to make repairs and address significant health and safety issues in this unit, including placing very aggressive, mentally incompetent criminal offenders in all 3 adjacent units to mine, including Irizarry, who keeps accessing the vacant premises of her former bathroom behind that wall and smacking the wall behind my sink, or then filling this entire corner with sickening amounts of marijuana and cigar smoke that come directly from behind this wall and never come from the hallway, because she's not sitting in the hallway smoking, as Greenville claims she must be doing, telling me it's not possible for anyone to be in Unit 78 because it's vacant and empty. Why are they keeping Unit 78 vacant and empty for 2 years now? And why do they literally brag about keeping Unit 78 vacant and empty? There's a housing crisis. They should be utilizing all of their available units to remedy the housing crisis, because there's literally waiting lists of hundreds of people who are waiting for available units, and Greenville has been keeping the vacant unit behind this wall deliberately empty for 2 years. And then they tell me that it's vacant and empty. How stupid are they? They are refusing to provide adequate and usable water to this tap and to my bathroom as well. So I keep having to go down the hall to the common bathroom that is now showing signs of the fact that there's some kind of pollutants and contaminants being leached into the water to those showers as well when I try to use them by obviously the same psycho criminal, sex offender, and structural engineer named Jasmine Irizarry, who Oleg Alisiev keeps bragging can take care of anything, as he very proudly put it. She's so talented. She can get into anything. She can take care of anything. Really? And you're blatantly bragging about this as if it's a good thing? Do you realize you just doxed the fact that you're using a career criminal to do your dirty work, Mr. Alisiev? Wow. Only the Russians are proudly using hackers and career thugs to engage in illegal and sketchy harassment and activities towards tenants they don't like. That's the Russians, folks. That's how they operate. No offense to my Russian friends. They're the ones who told me that the Greenville Group are Russian mafia and are basically criminally negligent slumlords that use their property operations or their real estate operations as fronts for other activities and nefarious involvements.
Because I'm showing here that the owner was still property manager, Greenville Group. They were served back on August 8th, and that service had 7 days for them to fix the situation. I see a list of everything that needed to be done, and you're saying that they haven't even been there?
So they fixed, Inspector Oliveira cited them for having absolutely no water coming out of my shower head. So they fixed the shower head. They fixed the broken toilet seat, which was also an issue that he cited. And they had the inspector come and spray once for cockroaches. The cockroaches are still around, so the spraying didn't eliminate the cockroaches. And this, a significant leak underneath the sink that is causing serious damage to the tiles and the flooring around the sink. I've been notifying them in writing for months now about the leak under the sink. They have refused to address it. There's also a leak at the top of the sink that is causing water to accumulate around the counter. That is something that actually Inspector Golden noticed and cited them for back in May, and she had them fix the part of the counter that had water damage to it, but the water continues to accumulate on the counter, and then it drips onto the floor where it then damages the floor. There's also a broken faucet in the bathroom. That is something new, and the water won't shut off because the knob from the faucet broke. It's a 14-year-old faucet. It was here before I moved in, and I've lived here for 13 years.
Wow.
Yeah.
All right, so this is what I'm going to do for you, Isabel. I'm going to print all this information out, and I'm going to bring it to my supervisor.
Okay.
Given the time of day right now, it's going to be, because it's almost the end of the day, I want to print this out, and I want to get the best information that I can provide to you.
Okay,
So
sure.
we can fix this. Now, I'm not sure if when we last spoke, did I give you the Greater Boston Legal Services number?
You did, yes.
I did?
Yeah.
Okay. Have you tried reaching out to them? Just for, just as a backup.
Oh, absolutely. There's already a case in court with the landlord. So.
Oh, yeah. And that's what I'm saying. He got served on the 8th. So he's just being totally negligent right now. And I hate to say it like that, but that's what it sounds like to me, because that's you're going on practically 2 months now.
Yeah.
And you tell me you can't fix that stuff? All right. So.
I agree. I don't know what's going on. I've lived here for 13 years. They have a pattern of negligence, definitely.
So
Yeah.
let me do my due diligence and get with
Okay.
my supervisor to see what further steps I can provide you with as
Okay.
far as what you can do and what we can do on our end. Because
Absolutely.
other than the process, the way it works is, we come, we citate them, give them X amount of time to fix it. They don't fix it, we come back. Has anybody been back there? Because I don't see a reinspection.
No, so I had to reschedule the reinspection from September 6th because I was sick that day. I've been trying to reschedule it, and there hasn't been any, I haven't had any luck with that. So I thought maybe I should just schedule a new inspection since the issues are still happening.
Okay, and so so now that you mentioned that, I want to see if I can just build on the case now, or do I need to create a whole new case?
Yeah,
So
that's kind of what I was
give
wondering.
me, what's your availability tomorrow?
Tomorrow there's
So-
a pest control inspection going on, so I will be here.
Okay.
Yes,
Okay.
I will be around.
So I'll give you a call, say around 10:30ish.
Sure.
When do they do? When are they coming in?
Late morning, most likely.
Late morning. So
Yeah.
I'll try to give you a call before 10. Let me just put, dot my I's and cross my T's. So like I said, I'd rather give you more information than no information.
That sounds wonderful. Thank you. Thank you
All right.
so much.
No problem, Mr. Ben. Thank you for calling, and we'll figure this out, okay?
Sounds great. Thanks so much for your help. I appreciate you.
No worries. Thank you.
Thank you. Bye-bye. Okay, so there's somebody who's nice, competent, and helpful. He sounds extremely on top of things. Obviously a very nice guy, and I am grateful for his assistance. And there we go. You know what? There's probably a solution somewhere in all this. Let's hope it doesn't involve further court action, but if it does, they've asked for it, basically.